Hello YouTube. I have DNF'd Ironman Lake Placid on account of a bum Achilles. Okay, so this is a bit of a weird video and I'm not really sure where to start. Like, I had such a crazy mental block just trying to make this video, but over 2 months ago I did Ironman Lake Placid. Many of you know I did not finish the race, and I even filmed a race recap like right after the race. I did some vlogging the week during the race, but I just never finished the video. I never even sat down to edit the video. But a lot has happened since then, which has changed my perspective on the race and the things I said on camera. So here's some of the original vlog and my thoughts leading into the race. It's 5:45 a.m. I'm not going to swim squad today because I'm doing it's almost the anti-Greg Harper set, 10 by 300. But we would never do something like that at squad, and I'm doing an Ironman. You know, we got to do a little bit now in the last 2 weeks before the race, do a little bit more long aerobic specific Ironman type swims. So yeah, we're doing 10 by 300 today. Alright, swim complete. It was pretty solid. I don't do sets like 10 by 300 ever, really. I've done I guess a bunch more this block, some 10 by 5 minute open water, like some Ironman simulation type stuff. I've done like 3 or 4 of those at this point. Okay. Nap time is over. I just laid down for an hour because I had the time and because I got a new mattress from Mattress, which I'm absolutely loving. Yes, I know my room is extremely unadorned. I'm a guy, so I don't really care. So there are 3 main things that an endurance athlete has to optimize for performance, and those are training, nutrition, and sleep. I would say that those 3 things probably make up 95% of performance, if not more. So that's why I'm thrilled that Mattress is the sponsor of today's video and that I have been able to sleep on this Elite Queen hybrid for a couple weeks now. There are a few things that I'm a fan of, and the first one is that Mattress provides a sleep quiz to match you with the perfect mattress for you. I tend to move around a lot. I lay on my stomach, on my side, on my back, before I can actually fall asleep, just kind of moving around in these different positions. And I also tend to sleep really hot, and I like to be cool. The sleep quiz paired me with the Elite Hybrid in medium firmness, since it's designed for pressure relief, so I don't have to move around quite as much as I used to, and it has built-in cooling features, so it really was everything I needed in a mattress. Since I've been sleeping on this mattress, I feel like I've been falling asleep way quicker, and I don't know if this is the Ironman training, but it has such a high level of comfort that I've slept through my alarm twice now. Another thing I've read about mattresses in the past is that they give off gases that can be harmful to your long-term health, and Mattress uses none of these harmful chemicals in their mattresses, and they're also made without fiberglass, which other brands use and which is also harmful to your health. So on a mattress, you can sleep safe and sound, knowing that there's nothing untoward going on in your mattress. They'll deliver this bad boy to your door, all rolled up in a box. It was super easy to set up. I did it by myself. And shipping is free in the US, and there's a 120-night sleep trial for you to test out the mattress and ensure that you love it. All mattresses also come with a limited lifetime warranty, financing options, and flexible payment plans. I love my mattress, and I think you would too. If you're looking to upgrade your sleep, head to bearmattress.com/AriClout and use code AriClout to get 40% off your mattress. And thank you to Mattresses for sponsoring today's video. And today is the last bit of work on the bike, really, before the taper officially starts. Even though I have already started resting and kind of tapering, it's not really the taper quite yet. So it's a 4-hour ride. This is the session. So some long intervals, some, medium length intervals in there, a little bit of intensity. Huge shout out, Blank Sports Nutrition.
absolute champ getting me through this block. Last one in the books. Let's see the stats. Damn, it didn't go very far. 270 average, 282 normalized. That was great. That felt really chilled out. Aside from that last 15 minutes at, I think I ended up at just under 360 watts. That was kind of tough, required some effort and focus, but the rest of it, hour at 300 watts, butter. 15 minuters at 320, super under control. I had a little bit of rest earlier this week and I feel like I needed it. And for the last kind of ride with, I mean, it wasn't even that hard, which is great. 280 normalized for 4 hours, feeling like pretty relaxed is, that's probably exactly what you want going into an Ironman.
So the funny thing watching all of these back is I was like so injured at this point. I was already not running and basically ended up not running the final 2 weeks into the race. My left glute, which I actually made a video about, and then later on my left Achilles were in like a lot of pain and were basically hampering my training the entire training block. I didn't say anything about it on camera in the vlog leading in because I was hoping for a miracle, honestly, and I wanted to pretend that everything was fine and I was just gonna get off the bike and la-di-da run my way to a 2:30 marathon. My bike, however, was in really good shape. Just a week or two before filming this video, I had done a 6-hour ride at 300 watts. So I was basically banking on that bike fitness plus all the built up run fitness from the past, 12 months of consistent running to basically carry me through to a good result despite all the injury.
We're out here catching the light rail. I have so much stuff. Shout out DT Swiss. Going to the airport to go to Connecticut. It's a red-eye flight. Takes off at midnight, which, yeah, a little unfortunate, but I did it on purpose because hopefully I can sleep on the plane and then be on the time zone immediately. That's kind of my goal. And then I'll nap tomorrow if I need to. So hopefully it won't be too much worse for the wear. Okay, we made it. We're here in Connecticut. All right, so I'm settled here in Connecticut. I'm kind of on the time zone. Went for a bike ride today, had a little swim and a little run yesterday after I landed. And it's all chilled out, I got nothing to do, so I'm gonna shave my head. There's no process for this. This is complete guesswork here on the back of my head. You guys are gonna see it before I do. Well, I guess not technically because the video won't be uploaded, but I assume that was not very good. Fast forward, it's the night before Lake Placid. And here I am about to go to bed. Bike is racked, carbs are in the body, and I'm doing this thing. I'm gonna be honest, I'm like, I'm not my pants, but I'm just like, can't believe what I have gotten myself into. A little bit uncomfortable right now because there is just like so much unknown. I'm now realizing how comfortable I've become with racing 70.3 because the unknowns going into a 70.3 race are fewer and fewer every time. So, but at the same time, I only get to do my first Ironman once. So in that regard, it's gonna be a special day no matter what happens tomorrow. And we'll be back at you with a race recap. Hello, YouTube. I have DNF'd Ironman Lake Placid on account of a bum Achilles. Truth is, I didn't run last week. I barely ran this week because 2 Sundays ago, maybe, I was walking like this across the house. Told a couple friends and they said, no, just don't run for the next 2 weeks. Maybe do a couple jogs race week, do some PT. It'll be okay. And honestly, it was great until it wasn't. I was running 2:32 marathon pace for a while and I felt great. Went from running great to jogging to can't really walk. And here we are.
So yeah, that's how the race went. I swam 8 minutes back from the front, which is really bad. I rode 300 watts for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, and then completely imploded. It was a horribly torturous experience. And then somehow got off the bike and I felt amazing. And I was on like 2:31, 2:32 marathon pace through 10 miles. And then in a very short span with, like 10 minutes, I started to feel my Achilles and went from like running great to jogging to walk to can't put pressure on my Achilles at all. And basically a volunteer found me and called in a golf cart to help me get back to transition and get into the med tent. And that was my day. And so I mentioned that I filmed a race recap right after the race. And watching that back, there's really only one clip that to me is relevant now. Another thing that I've been thinking about is, is it good? Is it net good that I did the race, or is it net bad? If I had decided not to do this race, I realized what would have happened is I would have been home on the tracker. I would have seen the swim results. I would have said, oh, Trevor Foley swam there. Yeah, that's probably about where I would have come out. And then I would have done so-and-so on the bike, like trying to just compare myself to other people. And that's just not what happened. It exposed a glaring hole in my swim progression. And in fact, I seem to have gone backwards. And, we analyzed the whole thing of what I've been doing this year, which is not a lot of triathlon specific swimming and not a lot of intensity at all, and we've been doing a load of technique. I would even basically call it a technique overhaul, and my technique and my awareness in the water feels the best it ever has, but I haven't been working hard in the water. So that's the greatest thing that came out of this experience is we realized that, the current approach to swimming, which was go to Masters swim 3 times a week, which is, your pretty standard Masters squad. There's, IM, there's sprinting, there's a little bit of free, but, not much threshold, no big sets or anything. And then doing the Greg Harper technique sets on the easy days in between was just not doing the trick. It was missing probably both volume, intensity, triathlon, open water specificity. And my swim is about as bad as it's been since I was trying to coach myself well over 2 years ago. Long story short, we spent the next 2 months hammering volume and intensity, and 70.3 Santa Cruz was the next test to see if we were actually making any progress. We're going to Santa Cruz, and we're probably going to miss our flight.
Actually, we're going to San Jose.
Whatever.
For
Santa Cruz via San Jose. Yeah, we're having a little beach vacation. I might do a triathlon. I love triathlon, so like there's one going on there. Might see if I can sign up and just race it and have a good time. Flight's delayed. I don't even know why we rushed over here. This is not that good. I was hoping it was going to be amazing. I saw it. Cold brew coffee with oat milk, horchata flavor. And I was not going to have another coffee today after my first, my 1 espresso in the morning, but it called to me and I regret it.
Beavis and Butthead over here.
Just my brain is so big, or that's just tough for me to shift this on there.
Posting my Instagram reel. Okay, so here's the strategy here. 70.3 Santa Cruz on tap tomorrow morning. The trick, we put the goggles on. This is the barrier. This is the, I cut up to that point. So I don't need a mirror in the back, so I can just send it. Oh, sorry.
5th place. He races out of Seattle, Washington. He went 4:45:39 for Ari Clow.
Woo! Yeah, Ari!
So it seems like the approach is working. I came out of the water 2.5 minutes down, which is the first time I've ever been under 3 minutes from the front in a non-current assisted swim. And honestly, that's like usually around what I am in a current assisted swim. I had a terrible start, which like basically always happens. I'm still figuring out that first, 50, 100, 200 meters of these, mass start swims. I just get totally clobbered and it leaves me in a horrible position. But unlike what usually happens, which is I just stay there, I was actually able to make my way from the back of this group all the way to the front, off the front, and then bridge up to the next group, which is ultimately where I came out of the swim. So that's not only my best deficit ever, but I was able to do it, under my own power, like not doing it in a group and with people to draft off of. So that gives me immense confidence that really we're moving in the right direction, and that if I can figure out that first 50, 100, 200 meters and get myself into a much faster group, that I can actually, I have the fitness and the swim skills to stay in there for a really long time. We didn't taper at all for Santa Cruz. It's probably the hardest week I've done into a race ever. And the bike and run were solid. It was about 325 watts average, normalized a little bit higher, in a 111 run. Solid, not spectacular. I came in 5th place, a tiny bit disappointed with it, to be honest, but I'm super fired up for Augusta this weekend. We are tapering, and I just know that there's a lot more in the tank if I can execute better than I did in Santa Cruz. So to sum it all up, doing Ironman Lake Placid, while it may have seemed like a terrible idea at the time and right after, could end up being this pivotal moment in my career, because we realized that my swim was regressing. So now I'm just super fired up about swimming again, and I just want to swim hard and I want to get better. And, it seems like we're actually seeing some fruits of our labor in a relatively short period of time. So we're just going to keep on that path and hopefully be coming out of the water much closer to the front than we have been. I think, honestly, once I figure out that first 50 to 100 meters, it's going to look really, really good.